This is the averages mixtures test 1. Now, if we look at the overall test, this test in terms of level of difficulty would be about moderate. The number of questions out of 10 that would be called a good attempt in this test would be about 6. And the ideal time to finish this test should be somewhere around 20 to 22 minutes. Which questions you should have attempted the 6 questions? We'll talk about that once we have completed or attempted all the questions. So here is the attempt of all the questions and how each of the question rates in terms of level of difficulty, the subtopic, and the time that should be taken to complete the question. If we look at the first question, it says the strength of a salt solution is P% if 100 ml of the solution contains P grams of salt. Each of 3 vessels A, B, C. There is A with 500 ml of salt solution, B with 500 ml of salt solution, and C with 500 ml of salt solution. The concentration, the P% is 10%, 22%, and 22 and 32% respectively for ABC. Now 100 ml of solution in vessel A goes to vessel B. Then 100 ml goes from B to C. Finally, 100 ml is transferred from C to A. The strength in percentage of the resulting solution in A is. So we look at each of the transfers one by one. When we take 100 ml of solution A and add it to 500 ml of solution B, the concentrations of A and B are 10 and 22%. We can alligate these numbers. The concentration is 10 and 22. The volumes are in the ratio 1:5. So the difference here is 12. We split the difference in the ratio 1:5, which will come out to 2 and 10. Add 10 to 10 or subtract 2 from 22, we get the concentration as 20%. So now what we have is we have B, vessel B, which has 600 ml of 20% concentrate, and C, which has 500 ml of 32% concentrate. A has 400%, 400 ml left of 10% concentrate. Now 100 ml goes from here to here. We do a similar process. 20% of B, 32% of C. 100 ml is going from B to C, and therefore the ratio is 1:5. Again, we look at the difference here, which is 12. Split the difference in the ratio 1:5, which comes out to 2 and 10. 1 by 6 of 12, 5 by 6 of 12. Subtract 2 from here or add 10 here. In both cases, we get 30%. After the second transfer, we have A, which has 400 ml 10% solution. We have C, which has 600 ml of 30% solution. Now 100 ml goes from C to A. So what will happen is we'll have 10 and 30. The ratio in which they are mixed, A has 400 ml and C has 100 ml. So ratio 1:4. We look at the difference here, 20, split that in the ratio 4:1. So 4 by 5 of 20, which is 16, and 1 by 5 of 20, which is 4. Either add 4 to 10 or subtract 60 from 13. We get 14% as the volume or concentration in vessel A. Now, in terms of level of difficulty, this would be a moderate sort of a question and should take about 3 minutes to complete. The subtopic here will be alligation. Because we are mixing two solutions one at a time, we can alligate each of them to get the answer. Since it's a 3-step process, so it might take a bit of time. Question 2 says the average of 30 integers is 5. From here, we can say that the sum of 30 integers will be average into number, which is 150. Sum of 30 integers upon 30 should be the average 5, and therefore the sum of 30 integers is average into number, which comes out to 150. Among these 30 integers, out of these 30 integers, there are exactly 20 which do not exceed 5. So these integers are less than equal to 5. And therefore, there are 10 integers which are greater than 5. Since they are integers, they will not take decimal values. They will be specific numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. What is the highest possible value of these two integers? Now, there are two groups of numbers, one which are not more than 5, one which are more than 5. The sum of these numbers is 150, as given in the question. We want to have this group so that this group has the highest value possible. Since the sum of the two groups is constant, if we want to maximize the value of one group, the value of the second group has to be minimized. As the value of this group increases, the value of this group has to go down so that the sum remains constant. For example, if this is 50, this will be 100. If this goes up to 70, this will go down to 80. If this goes up to 100, this will go down to 50. So the first 20 integers which are less than equal to 5 have to be maximized. So we minimize the sum of the 10 integers that are more than 5. What can be the minimum value that these 10 integers can take? Since the question does not say that the integers are different, we can assume each of these integers to be of value 6. So the 10 integers which exceed 5, each of them has a value 6. So their sum will be uh, 10 into 6, which is 60. So the sum of the 20 integers plus 10 into 6 should be equal to the overall sum, which is 150. So the maximum sum, max sum of the 20 integers in question will be 150 minus 60, which is 90. So what can be the maximum average? Maximum average will simply be the maximum sum upon number. Sum is 90, the number is 20, and therefore the maximum average possible is 4.5. Now, in terms of level of difficulty, I would call this a moderate level question. About 2 minutes to complete the question. But again, conceptually, this could be a little taxing in the sense that there are possibility of mistakes happening, and therefore not probably an exam question unless you're very sure about the question. Three varieties of tea with cost price 28, 36, and 45. Cost prices are 28, 36, 45. Are mixed in the ratio ABC. Ratio ABC, where A, B, C are geometric progression, A less than B less than C. So I'm taking the value of B as A into K, geometric progression, so common ratio, and C as A into K square. The cost price of the mixture becomes 40. So we can say that the cost price of the first group will be 28 into A, price into A kgs is taken. Cost price of the second will be 36 into AK, price per kg into weight. Cost price of the third will be 45 into AK square. Cost price into weight. This gives an overall price of 40. Price of 40 is for what weight now? The total weight, that is AK plus AK square. A will get cancelled, so we'll get 28 plus 36K plus 45K square being equal to 40 plus 40K plus 40K square, which gives us 5K square minus 4K, taking everything on the left side, minus 12 is equal to 0. So we try to find the value of the quadratic equation, value of K, 5K square. So basically we will look for two numbers which have a product of 5 into 12, 60, and a difference of 4. Product of 60, difference of 4, hit and trial, we get 10 and 6. So 5K square, so this is negative, minus 10K plus 6K minus 12 is equal to 0. So 5K common into K minus 2 plus 6 into K minus 2 is equal to 0. So 5K plus 6 into K minus 2 is equal to 0. Which means either 5K plus 6 is 0 or K minus 2 is 0. From here we'll get K is equal to minus 6 by 5. That should not happen because we cannot have negative weight. Or this is K minus 2 is equal to 0. Or from here we'll get K is equal to 2. Therefore, we can say that if you look at ABCs, if A has a value of A, B will be twice of A, and C will be 4 times of A because K is equal to 2. Now it says what would be the cost price of the mixture if the three varieties are in the ratio CAB. So 28 per kg is now taken as C kgs, 36 per kg is taken as A kgs, and 45 per kg is taken as B kgs. So the total price will be 28 into C, which is 4A, plus 36 into A, price into weight, plus 45 into B, which is 2A, upon the total weight, which will be A plus 2A plus 4A. A again gets cancelled. 28 into 4 is 112 plus 36 plus 90 upon 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. This comes out to 126 plus 112, which is 238 upon 7, which is 7 3s are 21, 2 8, 7 4s are 28. So the average price in this case will come out to rupees 34. Total price upon total weight. Again, in terms of questions, level of difficulty would be moderate. There is a quadratic involved which has to be solved. The calculations could be a bit lengthy and therefore moderate level of difficulty and about 3 minutes of solving time. This is a question that has been repeated in a lot of material. It's a very common question. So the shipping clerk has 5 boxes of different but unknown weights, each weighing less than 100 kg. The clerk weights the boxes in pairs. The weights obtained are 110, 112, 113, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21. What is the weight of the heaviest box? Now, if we arrange the boxes in ascending weight as A, B, C, D, E, the smallest weight will be A plus B, which is 110. Next will be A plus C, which is 112. Then there is possibility of more than one happening. For example, A plus D or B plus C. Similarly, A plus E and B plus C cannot be compared per se because here B is less than C, so A plus B will be less than A plus C for sure. Here we will not be sure. Similarly, when we have B plus C, the next will be B plus D, which will be greater than B plus C. Cannot be sure of A plus C and B plus D. Then we will have B plus C. B plus C will be greater than A plus C because B is greater than A. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we will have C plus D. C plus D again. B plus E and C plus D, we are not sure which will have a greater weight because C is greater than B, but D is less than E. Then we will have C plus E. And finally, we will have D plus E. C plus E will be greater than all the others, and D plus E will be greater than C plus E because D plus E is the largest weight. So this has to be 120, this has to be 121. But again, even though we are not sure about these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weights, they have to be one of the given weights. So for example, A plus D could be 113, A plus E could be 114, and so on. So if we add all of these, what we'll get is, we will have A 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, B 4 times, C 4 times, and D 4 times, and E 4 times. And the sum of all of these, which is 110, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 120, 121. 2 plus 3, 5 plus 5 and 5, 10, 14, 20, 27, 35, 36, 6, carry forward 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 3, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, carry forward 1, 10 plus 1, 11, 1, 1, 5, 6. So if we divide this by 4, A plus B plus C plus D plus E will come out to 1156 by 4, which will be 4 2s are 8, 3 5, 4 8s are 32, 3 6 289. Now A plus B plus C plus D plus E is 289. We know that A plus B is 110 and D plus E is 121. And therefore C will be 289 minus 289 minus 231, 110 plus 121, which will be nothing but 58. If we put C as 58, so A, B, C, D, E. If we put C as 58, here we will get E as 62. 58 plus 62 will be 120. Hence, the heaviest weight is 62 kgs. In terms of level of difficulty, again, a moderate level question, but I think this question should be attempted because if you've done if you practice averages, you would have come across this question. Since the question is repeated, so something that could be attempted, even though it will take 3.5 minutes, but it will definitely give us an answer and therefore a question that should be attempted. Also, if we look at this question, we could also work with this question by using options and could be done a little faster. For example, here we know that A plus B is 110, A plus C is 112. Similarly, for the last two, we know that last one is D plus E. Last one was D plus E. This will be 121 and C plus E will be 120. So these are the 4 bits we know for sure. If we now look at A, B, C, D, E, we can say that B and C, the difference will be 2. So if this is B, this has to be B plus 2. Similarly, if you look at C and D, the difference has to be 1. So D has to be 1 more than C, therefore B plus 3. Now, when we look at the weight of B plus C will be 2B plus 2, so has to be even number, which will typically come out at 114, because this was A plus B, this was A plus C. We have A plus D and B plus C, which we are looking at. B plus C cannot be 113, so it has to be 114. From here, we get 2B as 112 and B as 56. So if this is 56, this will be 58. This would be 59. And since the last two, D plus C is 121, so this has to be 62, which also gives us option C as the answer. This is an easy question. Simply says, the average mark scored by students of class 8th in their unit test is 78. The average mark scored by the boys is 75, girls is 83. Overall, if there are 10 more boys than girls, so if girls is G, the number of boys is G plus 10. Then what is the total number of students? We can simply aggregate the scores, the average scores of boys and girls with the overall score. The difference here is 3. The difference here is 5. So the ratio of number of boys to girls has to be 5:3. Since we know that the difference is 10, here the difference is 2, so we multiply this by 5. 25:15. The difference becomes 10. Hence, there are 25 boys and 15 girls. So the total number of students will be 25 plus 15, which is 40. Easy question. Just simple application of allegation. Even if I'm not comfortable with allegation, I can always say let the number of girls be G. The number of boys is G plus 10. So we can say the total score for boys will be 45 G plus 10. The total score for girls will be 83 G upon total number of students G plus 10 plus G should be the average of the class. One equation in G, if we solve it, we will still get the same answer. Again, an easy question should be done, if done properly, should take about 45 to 60 seconds. Question 6 is, there are 3 solutions ABC with concentrations 5, 6 and 7%. PML of A, P plus 2 of B, P plus 3 of C are mixed. If the alcohol concentration in the resultant mixtures is 6.5%, which of the following is true? All we have to do here is equate the overall concentration or the amount of alcohol in the 3 solutions and in the mixture. So what is happening is we are adding A plus B plus C to get the total mixture. Now A has 5% of P, 5% of volume as alcohol. B has 6% of P plus 2. This is B. C has 7% of P plus 3. And when we look at the total mixture after combining, it has 6.5% of the total volume, which is P plus P plus 2 plus P plus 3. Divide percentage, remove off. So we get 5P plus 6P plus 12, simply multiplying the numbers, plus 7P plus 21 is equal to 6.5 into 3P plus 5. So this becomes 5, 6, 11, 7. 18P plus 33 is equal to 6.5 into 3 is 19.5P. 6.5 into 5 is 32.5. And therefore, 33 minus 32.5, 0.5 is equal to 19.5 minus 18, 1.5P. So P becomes 0.5 upon 1.5, which is nothing but 1 by 3, or in decimal 0.333. So this value will lie between 0.1 and 0.5. Again, in terms of level of difficulty, I would say an easy question should take somewhere around 75 to 90 seconds to solve. Just the equation part is to be done, and then we get the answer. A milkman mixes 20 liters of water with 80 liters of milk. 20 liters water, 80 liters milk. After selling 1/4 of this mixture, so if we remove or sell 1/4 of the mixture, 3/4 is what we will be left. So we had 100 liters of the solution. If we remove 1/4, 3/4 is left. So water left will be 3/4 of 20, which is 4, 5, 20, 15 liters. Milk left will be 3/4 of 80, which is 420 is 80, 30, 60 liters. Solution left will be 3/4 of 100, which is 75 liters. After selling 1/4 of the mixture, he adds water to replenish the quantity. Now from 100 to 75, 25 liters has been removed. This amount of water is added. So now water will become 55 plus 25. Milk will remain as it is 60. So milk is to water now. What is the current proportion of water to milk? Sorry. Water is to milk now will be 15 plus 25, 40. Milk is 60, which is nothing but 2 is to 3. Option A. Again, an easy question. Should take about 75 to 90 seconds to solve. All we had to do was find 3/4 and add a constant value. Definitely an attemptable question. From a vessel containing 160 liters of milk, 160 liters milk. X liters is drained out, replaced with water. Then X liters of milk and water solution is drained out and replaced with water. Again, it's a removal replacement question, and therefore all we have to do is put in the formula. If the quantity of milk left is 90 liters, so formula says amount of milk left is equal to initial amount of milk into 1 minus volume of solution removed upon total volume into 1 minus volume of solution removed upon total volume. Standard formula, nothing extra that we have to do. 90 upon 160, therefore will be 1 minus x upon 160 whole squared. Take the square root, 0, 0 cancel, take the square root. So this is square of 3, this is square of 4. So 3 by 4 is equal to 1 minus x upon 160, which means x upon 160 will be 1 minus 3 by 4, which means x upon 160 will be 1 minus 3 by 4, 3 by 4 is 1 by 4, or x will be 160 by 4, which is 40 liters. What is the value of x? 40 liters. Now, in terms of level of difficulty, I would say this is a moderate question, because if we are not sure of the formula, it becomes difficult to solve. But once the formula is in place, this question is pretty easy to solve, and therefore, since again the repeatability is high, this is a question that should be attempted. 1 liter water alcohol mixture, 1 liter M1 has water alcohol. Water is 40%, so 40 is to 60. Another 1 liter water alcohol M2, water alcohol has 70% water, so 70 is to 30. X ml is taken from the two mixtures and put in two separate containers. Okay, X ml. So basically, initially there was 1000 ml of M1. Here there was 1000 ml of M2. X is taken out, so here we'll be left with 1000 minus X of M1. Here we'll be left with 1000 minus X of M2. Then what happens is the quantity taken from M1 is added to M2, and that taken out from M2 is mixed with remaining part of M1. So here basically X amount of M2 is added, and here X amount of M1 is added. If two mixtures contain equal quantities of water after the operation, since the volume of both the mixtures is same, and it says percentage of water is same, equal quantities of water, so the percentage should also be same. You have to find the value of X. Now, if the amount of water is same in both of them, we can say that water upon alcohol will be same in both of them, which also means that the ratio of M1 and M2 in each of the solutions should be same. If M1 and M2 are mixed in the same proportion, then the concentration of both the liquids become same, because of which water and alcohol will also become same, since the volume is same. In the first one, we have M1 upon M2 ratio as 1000 minus X upon X. In the second one, we have M1 is X, whereas M2 is 1000 minus X. The ratio should be same. For example, if I add 30 liters of water to 70 liters of milk, versus I add 15 liters of water to 35 liters of milk. If the ratio is same, the concentration will be same. So M1, M2 has to be same. We cross multiply here. 1000 into 1000 is 100, 000, a minus b whole square plus x square minus 2000x. A square plus b square minus 2ab is equal to x square. X square cancel. Therefore, 2000x will come out to 10000000. The three zeros cancel. 1000 upon 2, x will be 500. So what is the value of the quantity removed? Option C, 500. Now here, if I look at the level of difficulty of the question, uh, I will call it a difficult question because unless this concept works out, it is a little difficult to solve. But once this ratio is there, the question becomes easy. In any case, solving time should not be more than about 2 minutes. Apart from this, if we look at this question alternatively, please understand there are two solutions, M1 and M2. And from here, we are making two different solutions which have M1 and M2 in them. If we want both to have the same concentration, we can simply say the volumes of M1 and M2 should be same. So since they were 1 liter, 1 liter, if I take out half from here, and mix them. So 500 ml, 500 ml. Here 500 ml, 500 ml. I take this 500, mix it here, take this 500, mix it here. M1, M2 will be in the ratio 1:1 in both of them, and hence have the same concentration. So directly we could have said 500 needs to be removed. In what proportion can three varieties of rice priced 20, 28 and 40 respectively such that price of resultant mixture is 30? Now it should be noted here that when three articles are mixed, there can be multiple options which lead to the same average price. So we will check with each of the option. 1:3:4. So here the price will be 20 into 1, 28 into 3, 40 into 4. And this should be equal to 30 into the total weight, which is 1 plus 3 plus 4 or 8. If we add, we will see this is not equal. Again, at this point, if you look at just the unit digit, no matter what value we take here, whether it is 1, whether it is 5, whether it is 2, it is 1, the unit digit here will always be 0. Similarly, here the unit digit will always be 0, and here also the unit digit will always be 0. If we want the sums to add up, the unit digit for this term also has to be 0. Now from the options 3, 3, 5, 3, only 5 is a number which when multiplied by 28 can give us 0 as the number, and therefore we simply check for option C. Rupees 20 per kg, I'm taking 2 kgs. Rupees 28 per kg, I'm taking 5 kgs. Rupees 40 per kg, I'm taking 3 kgs. The total price here will be 20 into 2 plus 28 into 5 plus 40 into 3, which will be 40 plus 140 plus 120. So 180 plus 120. This is rupees 300 is the total price. And the total weight taken is 2 plus 5, 7 plus 3, 10 kgs. So the average price will be 300 upon 10, which is rupees 30. Hence, option C will give us the answer. Again, even if we are checking for each of the numbers, this should not take more than about 2.5 minutes to solve. And conceptually, it is very simple, and therefore I'm saying an easy question. So overall, if we look at it, the attempt, overall, the level of difficulty was moderate. The 6 questions that should be looked at would be questions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Very briefly run you through the questions. 4, because this was a repeated question. 5, because only allegation had to be put in for 2 numbers. 6, we were just equating the ratio. 7, 1/3/4 had to be calculated and added. 8, because only the formula has to be put in. Once that is done, the question is high repeatability. And finally, question 10, where we had to use the options and find the answer. So about 6 questions will give us an overall good attempt of in this set. Overall time about 22 minutes.